Scott, the founder and CEO of Fuuz, the manufacturing platform, and I am here today on our podcast called The Manufacturing Matrix. Exciting today, we are meeting with one of our newest alliance partners, Western Computer, and I would like to introduce Ryan. Ryan, if you would mind, give us a little bit of an introduction of yourself, and then tell us a little bit about Western Computer.
Yeah, sure thing, Craig. Thanks for having me on. Uh, I've been working with Western Computer for going on 10 years in May, and what we do is Microsoft Dynamics ERP, CRM implementations. We stick in the Microsoft stack and kind of stay it, in our lane and do what we're good at, which is business system implementation and support. I've been working in the ERP space for going on 17 years now. I live here in Alpharetta, Georgia, with my three daughters and my wife, and they asked me to explain what I do, and sometimes it doesn't quite translate. I told them I was a cloud transformation executive, and now some of my fourth grade friends of my daughter think that I'm a meteorologist, but that is not the case. We're moving people to cloud-based ERP systems.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I mean, I have the same dilemma at home too. My wife still asks me what I do for a living, and I tell her I own a software company, and she has no idea what I mean by that. Um, except when her computer breaks or our Wi-Fi goes down, she knows who to call. Even though I know
Sure.
nothing about computers or Wi-Fi, but apparently I'm the fix-it guy in the house, so I totally get
Yeah.
that. Um, so yeah, I'm really glad that you were able to be on the podcast today, and we're really excited about this new partnership with you guys.
Yeah.
Being one of the first in our portfolio that we work with that's primarily focused in that Microsoft vertical. We've
Sure.
had a lot of customers on Fuse using Microsoft already, but we've never really had someone like yourself and Western Computer who really brings that skill set to the table for us and our customers. So we're really excited to have you on here. And I want to just kind of jump into our conversation here and talk a little bit about what type of challenges you're typically seeing in the marketplace, in regards to ERP, and some of your challenges in specifically in the manufacturing sector, right? Because I know you guys dabble in a lot of different things. So from that
Sure.
perspective, maybe it's talk about what you're seeing out there and maybe what drew you guys into Fuse and what do you see that's different about Fuse as a partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. So we do tackle a number of verticals, like you mentioned. We do a lot of distribution, and we do a lot of manufacturing. Though those are our two core, really, industries that we focus on. Different sets of challenges, right? And the manufacturers tend to be focused on, how do I get product out the door? How do I make items available to promise, data, available to our sales team? How do I plan my inventory so that I don't buy too much or too little, because we don't want to have inventory sitting on the shelves, nor do we want to not have the appropriate inventory to fulfill sales demand, and that's a balancing act. So all of these are data driven decisions at the end of the day, or they really should be. The challenge that you see in a lot of manufacturers is you go in and they grew up, we serve primarily, manufacturers ranging from, maybe $30 million in annual revenue on the low end up to, hundreds of millions of dollars, because we have the two Microsoft solutions at our disposal: Business Central and Finance and Supply Chain Management, serving those two markets. And so when you go into the smaller manufacturers, or the ones that have grown from the lower end of that range into the hundreds of million range, or have desires to grow there, a lot of those processes are manual. Sometimes you see a lot of, well, how do you plan your production schedule? Excel. Okay. And your demand planning is on a whiteboard, and that's a tough way to run a business, because you really need to take advantage of modern tools if you're going to scale, and if you're going to
Yeah.
be able to deliver these metrics that the shop needs to run, and that the business needs in order to be profitable.
Yeah, totally. I mean, you and I talked several days ago for the first time, really, right? We had not had an opportunity prior to this to really get to understand how the two companies kind of work together. And, you
Sure.
know, you and I talked a lot about MES, right? And we talked a lot about some of the common misconceptions about, you know, MES is kind of a beast from an implementation standpoint. You know, it can be equal to or more difficult in some cases than the ERP system. And when we were having our conversation, you know, it came to me that there's this misconception that you have to put the whole thing in, right? And what you're describing here with companies ranging from 30 million to the hundreds of millions, right? That's very difficult for any company to take on, you know, in a single serving. So as we had that conversation, you know, it dawned on me that there's definitely a difference in how you go about deploying these enterprise systems in the SMB space versus enterprise. You mentioned Microsoft
Yeah.
BC and F&O, right? Obviously serving different size companies. And are you seeing in your business a trend where companies might start on BC and maybe, you know, move or migrate to F&O, or how does that typically work for you guys?
Yeah, we're doing it all the time. So we
Yeah.
grew up implementing the predecessors to these applications, Dynamics NEV, Dynamics AX, the old legacy on-prem client server based stuff from Microsoft. And you know, Business Central is the cloud version of NAV. It's in Dynamics 365, and Dynamics
Hmm.
365 F&O, or Finance and Supply Chain Management, as it's called now, used to be AX. So we're seeing a lot of companies as they grow up on an NAV. When it comes time to make that decision and that investment to go to the cloud, it's not a foregone conclusion to keep them on the same platform. Absolutely, we may consider migrating, to a bigger platform, or in some cases, a smaller one. Maybe a part of the business has been divested, or something has changed to lower the size of the company. That happens as well. But we see Fuuz as a really key strategic partner going forward, for different reasons for the two applications. Business Central has some gaps when it comes to manufacturing,
Mhm.
right? And this is not that, these gaps can't be plugged by one-off apps that are available by Microsoft in the App Store. We've been implementing manufacturers on Business Central and its predecessor for 2 decades. I mean, it's a
Mhm.
very good discrete manufacturing system. You could do warehousing, and you could do quality, and you can do plant maintenance, right? But when you start to add some of these licensing costs up, and start to have disparate apps all plugged into one system, there's a really solid use case for something like Fuuz, which handles some functional gaps all in one. And to really, I love the way that Steve from Fuuz puts it, right, where the carpet meets the concrete, and
Mhm.
and you've got your back office system, and your accounting, and sales and purchasing, and your reporting and your analytics. That's where Business Central can live, and then Fuuz can handle production scheduling, and quality, and the plant maintenance, and the shop floor data collection, and all of that, where the rubber meets the road type manufacturing functionality that manufacturers tend to focus on. And there's a use case for that. And like you said,
Yeah.
it's not all or nothing, and that's important. It's We're able to take pieces of it as needed from Fuuz, but if we need an all-inclusive solution that handles all of these areas, that seamlessly integrates back to Business Central, Fuuz gives us a really great option for that. And then on the finance and supply chain management side, you have much more native functionality there than you do in Business Central. You've got
Yeah.
quality, and you've got plant maintenance, and you've got more complex manufacturing capabilities, but still that last mile MES, interfacing with the shop floor machines and collecting data and scanning. That's not the strongest area of FNSCM out of the box, and we've commonly seen customers go and integrate a PLC to back to the application through, an intermediary, and we've done those integrations many times, and the fact that Fuse can do that directly is a big bonus in that arena, and more in the enterprise arena as well. So we see different use cases for the two applications, but certainly, applicable cases for both Dynamics 365 Business Central and Finance and Supply Chain Management.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I mean, that really was kind of the thesis of our conversation the other day, right? Really talking about there's some misconceptions. Most I think SMBs in particular are looking for that single pane of glass. I mean, everybody wants all their data in one spot, right? It's a matter of
Right.
how that data gets to that spot and what that spot is. Probably differs from the SMB to enterprise. We're in our space. We're not typically seeing SMBs with data lakes and data warehouses, right? But we are seeing enterprise customers with those tools at their
Sure.
disposure. So for them, it's more about give me the right tool for the job, right? Give me the best tool to handle my finance and supply chain. Give me the best tool to handle my shop floor. I'm not worried about single pane of glass because I'm going to get the data where I need it, right, to be able to report on Power BI or wherever they want to do those types of analytics.
Yeah.
Um, and so that was kind of, I think, an interesting conversation that we had, and something that even just between our two companies, I think we're going to be able to do a lot more work together because now we have this mutual understanding that we don't have to take over all the operations from an MES perspective, right? There are some things that
Sure.
we feel that we need to own from an MES standpoint, but we can always work through what's best and meet the customer where they're at, and do what's best for the customer in all of those circumstances.
Yeah.
So there was a couple
Absolutely.
other things that I think we wanted to chat about here, which was as far as extending the life of an ERP system. I'm curious your thoughts on this. So first I'll start off by saying we have a number of clients that we've worked with. We have over 1,300 sites globally running Fuuz in various capacities. Some are
Mhm.
running us as their iPaaS middleware. Some are full MES, WMS, quality, maintenance, right? The whole gamut. Some of them literally just got Fuuz because of the platform low no code capabilities, and they started using it to build their own applications on. And what we've found resoundingly is that a lot of those customers have utilized Fuuz to be able to extend the useful life of their ERP implementation. So where normally they would probably go down the path of an evaluation, right? Maybe moving from like BC to FNSM, for example, right? Um,
Mhm.
Maybe that is something. Do you see that much in your industry? I mean, we're kind of coming from the shop floor up. I'm just wondering, do you see that as an opportunity for some companies to take advantage of better data collection and analysis on the shop floor, where they might historically or traditionally go look for a new ERP, which may not necessarily get them what they want, but
Sure.
that's kind of what we've seen.
Yeah, I've definitely seen it. I could think of a few cases in particular where, the real reason for going the enterprise route in the Dynamics 365 world, the finance and supply chain management route, is to get that power in the production area. Now, if you could provide that to somebody who's on Business Central, you may make a use case for them staying on that application. Now, of course, it's not the only consideration, but
Right.
certainly that does come up, and you can essentially supercharge the production capabilities, the operational capabilities of an application like Business Central with a Fuse, and absolutely extend the useful life of it. And so we've seen that. We've seen, Microsoft go-to-market strategy is more horizontal. They're typically not going to go to the depth of feature functionality that something like a Fuse offers, but you still get people that want the Microsoft stack, and there are
Yeah.
good reasons for that. You've got integration to Office 365 and Excel and Teams and Word, and so our ability to now offer customers to stay on that Microsoft stack, which is what they want to do, but still get everything they need on the back end, is a big reason of why we're so excited about this.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean we are as well, obviously, and we see a ton of growth, for ourselves in the Microsoft space. Not that we typically look at what ERP system our customers are utilizing, right? I mean, it's a piece of the overall enterprise architecture, but I think it's not, somebody said it's not 1990 anymore. So I don't know that we're running into too many businesses that expect the ERP to be that single source of truth. It's a node in the network of things that deliver value to the organization. it's a big
Mhm.
node for sure, but you have other tools. And I know Microsoft brings a lot of those to the table, like CRM and all the other business applications. So they're sort of unique in that space versus some of the other systems that are out there. But yeah, we're really excited to be working with you guys. It sounds like you're the go-to solution provider here. I'm wondering any metrics that you could share with our customers, with our listeners about how many clients do you guys serve? Are you
Sure.
international? Do you stick mostly here in the States? Just a little bit of that so they get a flavor for if they should reach out to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're one of the top Dynamics, if not the top Dynamics 365 implementation and support uh, partner in North America for sure. We've been implementing for 20 plus years, implementing Dynamics since
Wow.
before Microsoft bought it. And we've got 1,200 implementations, a huge number of manufacturing deployments, great relationship with Microsoft as their, partner of the year finalist globally for 3 straight years now, um, and more than the Microsoft relationship, which is fantastic. We've got industry leading customer reviews, and that's where it's all about for us. We are the where the rubber meets the road implementation partner. Uh, Microsoft is developing these solutions and hosting these solutions and providing all that great solid technological infrastructure, but at the end of the day, we own the client relationship. So what our clients are saying, if you go out to g2.com or one of these independent review sites, is that they're very happy with us. And we've led, actually, there are 463 Microsoft consulting firms on g2.com. It's an independent
Hmm.
peer-to-peer review site. And we've led for 4 straight quarters now, all of those companies, number one in average customer satisfaction in the reviews that our customers are putting out there. So it's a great place to go read about us. What do you like about Western Computer? What don't you like about Western Computer? And get some unfiltered,
Yeah.
dialogue or unfiltered narrative, I should say, from our customer base. That's where that's what it's all about, right? Is happy
Oh yeah.
customers. So
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, having previously owned a service consulting business myself, I know that that's extremely challenging as a service organization to get those types of reviews, right? Delivering on those services, especially when you're providing technology from third parties, right, is a challenge. So that's really great for you guys to have that. That's phenomenal. So congratulations on that. I mean,
yeah,
we're looking forward to enabling you guys, your team. I know you've got a very deep bench of very knowledgeable and talented manufacturing and distribution experts, and we're really looking forward to getting you guys, leveled up on Fuuz and what we can do, and how to implement it. So hopefully, there's some folks out there listening to this that are, either on Microsoft and need to reach out to you or considering a new ERP. They should definitely contact you guys, and then we can talk about what we can do together to bridge some of those gaps between ERP and the shop floor with combination of Microsoft and Fuuz out there. So, Ryan, I guess before we go, is there anything else that you'd like to add to the conversation?
I would say that change is hard, and I've run across this probably in the manufacturing industry more than anywhere. You've got people in the shop floor; they've been doing things a certain way for 20 years. But to grow as an organization, there's got to be executive buy-in to make change and to adopt modern solutions. When it comes to things like taking advantage of AI, nobody knows what AI is going to be at the end of the day. We're all learning
Yeah.
at the same time. But I can tell you this: you got to have your data estate in order if you're going to take advantage of it, and if you don't, your competitors will. So some of those changes are tough to do. If you want to reach out and talk about your current situation and how to navigate that internally, there's a change management aspect to it as well that's got to be driven from the top down. So change is hard, but it's worth it. So that would be my final piece of advice. Anyone who wants to talk, let me know.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Executive ownership of these projects is crucial. Ironically, just before this podcast, I was just having a conversation with another one of our partners about that exact thing. So, completely agree. So, what's the best way, Ryan, if anybody wants to get a hold of you guys? You've got a website that they
Yeah.
can reach out to you through.
Yeah, sure. Westerncomputer.com. It's got a contact us form, or you can go there's an interactive chat yes, the very initial "Hi, can I help you?" is a bot. As soon as you reply, you're
Mm.
going to get a real person, and you're going to get an expert. It's myself and 8 or 9 members from our team that reply to those chats. So if you want to come chat, feel free. If you want to ping me on LinkedIn, there are not very many Ryan Pollyniaks out there, and if you want to come find me there, by all means, that's fine as well. A number of ways to contact us, but westerncomputer.com is the website.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Thank you, Ryan. And of course, anybody that might reach out to us directly who's interested in speaking with you guys will be happy to connect you. So thank you very much for your time, Ryan. Much appreciated. Welcome to the
Thanks,
partner
Greg.
ecosystem. Super excited to have you guys. I can't wait to do more work with you guys and get deeper involved. So yeah, thanks again for the time today, and we'll talk again soon.